Well, thank you very much. We're here to speak with the family, to check the progress made since the last time we were here, to also exchange some notes on how best can we give Mama a befitting farewell. And we also brought a delegation of Ghana to come and pay their last respect. And we really appreciate that the leadership of Ghana saw it necessary for them to come and comfort the family during these difficult times. We have just informed the family that we will be organizing our memorial service on the 11th at Bramford, next to the house where Mama Winnie was house arrested, because it is not a museum yet. It remains a house in a very bad condition. We have chosen Bramford because the people of Bramford should not be excluded from honoring the mother of the nation, a mother who inspired them, a mother who agitated them and ensured that Bramford plays a significant role in the struggle against apartheid. So we will be going there, and we think that it is the right thing to do. When we looked at government program and we looked at the ruling party's program, we realized Bramford is excluded. And for deliberate reasons, that they are running away from their own corruption. And we cannot deny the people of Bramford an opportunity to honor the person they lived with, because other people are scared of their own corruption, which is of their own making. So we are not party to that. We are not party to protecting corruption. We've already been there at the house, and when they saw us being there, making some preparations, they started cleaning the house because they could see that something is going on. But that is not the whole purpose of going there. The purpose is to go and honor the people of Bramford for having been that pillar of strength when Mama was isolated. They thought they were isolating her, but the people of Bramford welcomed her and embraced her, and were very happy for the role they've played in protecting Mama, in molding her and making her the person she was. So that's a way of saying to them, thank you for your contribution in the struggle against apartheid. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You want to ask a question, Trolli?
Indeed. Yes, we would want just one quick question. President, you felt it necessary yesterday during your address that you wanted to go to what I would call controversies. Particularly, you said that ANC leaders are saying things about Mama that are not pleasant, and as if they themselves were angels.
Yeah.
Why did you feel it necessary to go there?
Firstly, they say Mama killed Stompie. And it is now clear that Mama never killed Stompie. Even the most brutal, murderous police commissioner, George Fivers, came out and said there was never evidence linking Mama to the killing of Stompie. But they continue to peddle that lie. And I said, let's say for a second Mama killed Stompie, right? And pack it aside and say, how many people were killed in the camps during MK? And they were accused of being sellouts. They were killed under President Tambo. They were killed under commanders like Chris Hani, Joe Modise, and many others. Today, we are not told that those people are murderers, because they had to do what they had to do to safeguard the revolution. Why here, with one incident, we must be told forever? There was a firing squad in MK in exile. There was Quattro, where Impimpis were killed. Why are we not being told who instructed the killing of those people? Why? Because they are males. It's understandable when it's committed by males who are generals and commanders. But Winnie was a commander. Winnie was a soldier. And she had to do what she had to do. So I was clarifying that point, that the problem is that this thing, they say it is created by an African woman, and it was not supposed to be done by a woman. It must be done by a man, and when it's done by a man, it's understandable. She's being punished for being a woman who behaved like a man, because women must behave in a particular way. Once they behave in a manner that we think this is a conduct of men, then they become unacceptable to society, which is wrong. And that is patriarchy at its play. So we were trying to elevate that. We were saying, for instance, Mama says we'll liberate our country with tires and boxes of matches, right? And she doesn't do that. She's just warning those who want to sell out that if you dare sell out, there will be consequences. In exile, where these people were who are accusing her of tires and matches, people were not told you are going to be burned with a tire and a matches. They were killed. Winnie didn't kill them. But these ones who killed their own comrades are not being reminded today that they've killed their own comrades, because they are males, and it's understandable. They were soldiers, they are commanders. It had to happen. So Mama had to do what she had to do. She had to respond to the situations she was confronted with on the ground. And there is no formula. There is no political science textbook which describe how you respond to that type of situation. Winnie Mandela used to go to Val, find police arresting people, putting them behind vans. She will go and open a van and tell those comrades to get out of a van. Someone who comes from a Sussex University, who calls himself a leader today, will say Winnie was reckless. Why would you open a van? Why is he saying Winnie was reckless? Because nowhere in a Sussex political science book they said when you find your comrades arrested, you must open a van. Because it's not in the book, it's reckless. So bookish, we cannot glorify bookish revolutionaries. Winnie was a ground force, she was an activist, she responded there and there. And that is not reckless, that is being leadership. They say Winnie slept with young people when Madiba was in prison and all that. They say all sorts of things about her. Let's say, okay, let's accept that nonsense even when it's not there. Let's say Winnie slept with young people. And because she slept with young people, she must be isolated. She's immoral. How many of these men slept with young people? Slept with the children of their own friends, raped the children of their own friends, yet they got elected into the highest offices. They were never punished, they were never told they are immoral. They said, no, she did this to Madiba. Yes, Madiba is a human being the same way as Makumal. So why are we not being told of what he did to Makumal or their wives when they were sleeping with young kids? So Winnie has never done all of these things. I'm just saying, even if she has done them, why is it acceptable when they are done by men and they are unacceptable when they are done by women? So this is hypocrisy at the highest form, and we're not buying into that. We will celebrate her, we will worship her, we will sing her name because she is us. We are Winnie Mandela. So any criticism of Winnie Mandela and how she conducted the struggle is a criticism on how black people conducted the struggle, because Winnie was us. So those are not controversies. We are just responding to the facts that please stop hating on African women. Let them be, because Winnie Mandela was. They must follow in her footsteps, because when you destroy Winnie Mandela like that, all these African women are going to be scared that if I go into a man's terrain, I will also be vilified the same way they are doing with Winnie Mandela. We must protect Winnie Mandela's image and legacy in order to inspire many young African girls to follow in her footsteps and say it is possible. The history of revolution all over the world celebrates men. You can talk Karl Marx, you can talk Lenin, you can talk Che Guevara, you can talk Fidel Castro, Nelson Mandela, Chrysan. They are all males. For the first time, we've got a woman who is at the same level as Che Guevara. we will feed this into the world. When they count the list of revolutionaries, there will be only female, African female, who's counted amongst these world revolutionaries, and that is Winnie Mandela. So let's protect this only female revolutionary who enjoys the world recognition. The other thing is that we are told Winnie was part of a collective. What collective? President Mbeki says, well, don't elevate Winnie against the collective. But behind President Mbeki, there is a media banner written Thabo Mbeki Foundation. Why, if we must celebrate a collective, why is it not written Collective Foundation and it's written Thabo Mbeki Foundation? He says we must not celebrate an individual, we must celebrate a collective. Why Thabo Mbeki Foundation and not a collective foundation? Thank you very much.
Thank you.